Two large pits filled with hundreds of artifacts, including masks made of bronze and gold, statues, figurines, and other items made of marble and jade. What they had uncovered belonged to an ancient civilization that had been lost for thousands of years. Experts say these artifacts are around 3,000 to 5,000 years old, putting them in the same era as the early civilizations of Sumer and Egypt, who were among the first advanced cultures in the world. This newfound culture was later named Sanxing Dui, which means the three-star mounds, based on the ruins where the artifacts were uncovered. In total, about 13,000 items were found, including over 1,200 pieces made from bronze, 543 made from gold, and 565 from jade. One of the most fascinating objects found was a bronze box with a lid shaped like a tortoise, handles designed like dragon heads, and bronze ribbons attached. Other standout finds included a large bronze sacrificial altar, a giant bronze mask, and a bronze statue that had a human head but a body shaped like a snake. The giant mask was especially impressive, measuring around 4.5 feet wide and about 2.5 feet tall. Another incredible piece was a 9-foot-tall bronze statue with holes in the hands, suggesting it once held something. The bronze heads found at the site were particularly eye-catching, with large eyes and ears giving them a very unusual look. Some people believe that the Sanxing Dui civilization wasn't even part of the Chinese culture, as their artifacts are unlike anything else found in China. The pieces are not just unique in design, but also show a high level of craftsmanship, indicating that the people who made them were incredibly skilled in working with metals. This is surprising for a culture that existed at least 5,000 years ago. Even stranger, many of the artifacts were broken and had signs of being burned. This could mean that the items were intentionally damaged and burned before being buried, or it might point to a disaster that wiped out the civilization, leaving their creations in ruins. The masks and statues stand out not just because of their odd facial features, but also because of the amount of detail and skill that went into making them. To create such detailed pieces, the people must have had advanced knowledge of working with metals, which is quite impressive for such an ancient time. Whoever these people were, their sudden disappearance is one of the biggest mysteries of history. Moving on from the Guanyin pit, the next structure we'll explore is all about a legendary general. Number 5. Guanyin Temple. Nestled near Luoyang in Henan province, the Guanyin Temple is a site rich in history and cultural significance. It is widely believed to be the burial place of Guan Yu, a legendary general celebrated for his loyalty, bravery, and wisdom in Chinese history and folklore. Over the centuries, the temple has become a symbol of reverence and remembrance, attracting countless visitors who come to pay their respects. What makes the Guanyin Temple truly fascinating is the possibility that its origins go back much further than commonly thought. While it is recognized as a memorial site, some experts argue that parts of the structure might predate Guan Yu by centuries. This theory suggests that the temple wasn't originally built as a tribute to the general, but may have served other purposes before being repurposed. Adding to the intrigue, some researchers compare the Guanyin Temple to ancient Egyptian tombs. Just as many Egyptian structures were advanced beyond their time, the craftsmanship of the Guanyin Temple seems far too sophisticated for the tools and knowledge available in the Bronze Age. This raises questions about who the real architects were and what kind of forgotten knowledge they possessed. Number 4. Wasan Grottos. About 100 miles north of Xuning, you'll find another set of mysterious caves, the Wasan Grottos. Nestled near the Yellow River, these grottos consist of 36 separate caves. They share many similarities with the Guhua Caves, especially when it comes to their impressive size and the precise craftsmanship involved in creating them. The grottos are not just a bunch of holes in the ground, they are an architectural wonder. The large open spaces, winding passageways, and detailed carvings all show a level of skill that's hard to believe. Just like the Guhua Caves, one of the biggest mysteries of the Wasan Grottos is the amount of rock that was removed to create them. The total amount of rock taken out is mind-blowing, measuring in the millions of cubic feet. Yet, oddly enough, there's no sign of the debris anywhere. Normally, when large amounts of rock are dug out, the leftover rubble is piled up nearby. But in this case, it's as if the rock simply disappeared. Experts estimate that carving out the Wasan Grottos would have required a huge workforce and taken a long time to complete, likely hundreds of years if done without modern tools. The people who built these caves clearly had advanced knowledge of engineering, especially when it came to creating large spaces deep underground. However, just like with the Guhua Caves, there are no written records or historical documents that explain who built the grottos, why they were built, or how long the project took. Adding to the mystery, many parts of the Wasan Grottos remain unexplored to this day. The lack of information only deepens the intrigue, leaving researchers to wonder who the builders were and what their purpose might have been. As we move on from the Wasan Grottos, the next site presents a massive, intricately carved entrance and the puzzling theory behind its construction. Number 3. Hain City Fortress. High up on a steep lower slope sits the mysterious Hain City Fortress, hidden away in a location that makes it hard to spot unless you know exactly where to look. Deep gorges surround the fortress, making it practically invisible unless you're searching for it. Surprisingly, even the people who live nearby don't know much about its history. It wasn't until an elderly man named Hu Junei, who had lived in the area for 80 years, helped guide people to the fortress, that the secrets of this place started to come to light. His deep understanding of the land was crucial in revealing the paths that lead to this ancient and forgotten fortress. Once inside the Hain City Fortress, the land opens up in a way that reminds people of the shape of an ancient arc. Long ago, people lived in caves along the walls of the fortress, but time has worn them away, leaving only the plateau and the large gate. When historians first stumbled upon the fortress, they suggested that it was built by the local villagers. These villagers were described as simple farmers, untrained in battle and without the means to defend themselves, so the theory was that they had built the fortress to hide from bandits. However, this explanation doesn't quite add up when you take a closer look at the place. One of the most striking features of the Hain City Fortress is its enormous 30-foot high doorway, which can be seen from far away. The sheer size and scale of this structure raised doubts about the idea that it was just a quick hideout for farmers. If it were only a place to escape danger, why would they have built such a grand entrance? The more people examined the fortress, the more they began to question the original theory. Just like the other caves we've talked about, the caves at Hain weren't naturally formed. They were carefully carved out of the rock, showing the same level of precision seen in places like the Guhua Caves and the Wasan Grottos. The marks left behind suggest that advanced tools were used to carve the fortress, tools that seem out of place for the time period the historians had originally assigned to the villagers. These tool marks are eerily similar to those found in other mysterious sites across the region, hinting that whoever built the Hain City Fortress may have had access to some sort of advanced technology, just like the creators of the other cave systems. In many ways, the Hain City Fortress challenges the simple explanations historians first came up with. The size, the detailed carving, and the strange marks all suggest that there is more to this place than meets the eye. As researchers continue to study the site, they're beginning to wonder if the fortress was part of something much larger and more complex than just a place to hide from bandits. Like the other caves we've discussed, the Hain City Fortress holds on to its secrets, leaving us to question who really built it and why. As we leave behind the puzzling Hain City Fortress, another site of equal mystery awaits in Beijing. Number 2. Guhua Caves. Another mysterious place is the Guhua Caves, often called China's largest cliff dwelling. This ancient cave complex was discovered in 1984 and includes an impressive 117 caves and about 350 chambers. The caves are spread out over 25 acres, which is about 100,000 square meters. The size and scope of this place are astonishing and show the incredible skill and hard work of the people who built it long ago. The caves are located roughly 50 miles northwest of Beijing and are carved directly out of solid granite, which is no easy task. This alone tells us that whoever made these caves had advanced technical knowledge and tools. Just like in other ancient structures, you can see the same kind of strange marks on the surface of the rock, adding to the mystery surrounding this site. One of the things that make the Guhua Caves so puzzling is the fact that no one knows exactly when or why they were built. No historical records mention the caves, and there is very little archaeological evidence that can be used to figure out their exact age. This leaves experts scratching their heads, unsure of who created this incredible place and what it was originally used for. The caves are arranged in a way that makes them look like a honeycomb, with chambers carved into the rock. These chambers are divided into what seems like two separate clusters, almost like two distinct villages. The design of the chambers is varied. Some are square, others are rectangular, and a few are circular. Some of the chambers are small, while others are larger and have multiple rooms spread across different levels. This setup is similar to ancient cave dwellings found in other parts of the world, like Turkey, Italy, and Spain. What makes the Guhua Caves even more impressive is the level of detail inside. The builders carved out doorways, windows, beds, stoves, flues, lampstands, and storage spaces, all out of stone. This shows that the people who lived here weren't just skilled in carving, but also had a good understanding of domestic life and how to make their homes comfortable. One of the most interesting features of the Guhua Caves is the drainage system. The builders clearly knew how to manage water and built channels to drain excess rainwater. This shows they understood how to live sustainably in the environment they were in. The cave's design is thoughtful and complex. The walls are consistent in thickness, and the chamber sizes vary, with some parts of the caves resembling multi-story buildings. The caves even had stone staircases, ladders, and bridges connecting different levels, making it easier to move around. Roofs were carved with slots that would collect rainwater, which is another example of the advanced planning that went into these structures. One of the most remarkable parts of the complex is the Guanyin, which means the Golden Temple. It's the largest structure within the cave system and stands out because of its size and design. The Golden Temple has 8 rooms spread over 2 floors with stone pillars that were carefully carved, a large central bed, and stone furniture. Some people believe that this building was either the home of a leader or an important religious site, possibly a place of worship for the people who lived there. Despite decades of study and preservation, there's still so much we don't know about the Guhua Caves. Archaeologists estimate that the caves were built between 1,000 and 2,000 years ago, but these dates are mostly guesses. Some researchers even believe that the caves are much older than that. Whatever the true story is, the Guhua Caves remain one of the most intriguing and mysterious ancient sites in China. Now we move from the Guhua Caves to a pyramid-shaped structure that raises questions about ancient global connections due to its striking similarities with Mesoamerican pyramids. Number 1. Tomb of the General. Located in Jian, Jilin province, the Tomb of the General is another enigmatic site that has left historians scratching their heads. Part of the Goguryeo Tombs complex, this pyramid-shaped structure is unlike anything else in East Asia. While the Goguryeo kingdom is credited with using the tomb, many believe it existed long before their time, repurposed rather than constructed by the kingdom. This ancient pyramid is especially unique because it defies the typical design of burial sites in the region. Most tombs in China and Korea are rounded mounds, but this one features a stepped pyramid structure. Its broad base narrowing to a pointed top draws comparisons to the pyramids of Mesoamerican civilizations like the Aztecs and Mayans. The similarities go beyond appearance. Both the Tomb of the General and Mesoamerican pyramids share advanced engineering techniques, precise alignment with astronomical events, and tiered designs. These striking resemblances challenge the notion that ancient cultures developed independently. How could civilizations separated by thousands of miles and no known contact create structures so alike? The Tomb of the General raises profound questions about ancient knowledge, architectural traditions, and potential global connections. Who were the original builders of this pyramid? What inspired its unique design? And could it hint at a shared cultural or technological lineage we have yet to uncover? These questions keep the mystery alive, ensuring this ancient site continues to captivate and inspire curiosity. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.